Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nomava, and yeah, I'm excited to actually do this video today because I felt like it's something that as women we need, especially at this day and age. Reason being, I don't want us to wait for August to talk about women empowerment, or in order for us to advise each other on what not to do or what to do. So I am doing the best I can now in the month of May to say, as women, we can do better. Yeah, so I've come across something this morning, and I was like, there's a lot we can do as women. We know the issues we have. We know the issues of hating on each other as women, and unnecessarily so, guys. If for an example, I go to the mall, I would come across a stranger looking at me like I've just stolen her purse, but she doesn't even know me. But for the mere fact that I'm a woman, or I am confident, because I don't believe that, hey, it's because I'm beautiful. Yeah, that could be the case, but there's many beautiful women out there. I don't think they're looking at me because I'm beautiful only. There could be other reasons that I'm not aware of. But the mere fact that they are able to look at me like that and they don't even know me, it says a lot about them. I want us to talk about this. I want us to address this issue. Okay. First of all, excuse me, women are not going to look ugly. I'm referring to women. Women are not going to look ugly just so you can feel comfortable with yourself. They're not going to start looking dry just so you can be able to sleep at night. In life, you're going to come across beautiful women who know they're beautiful, who are taking care of themselves, who are confident and comfortable in their own skin, right? So if you have an issue with how you look, if it's something you can fix, fix it. If it's something you cannot fix, that means you're supposed to be like that. Okay, so deal with it or find other ways of getting comfortable with that situation. But at the same time, I wouldn't advise people to change themselves because they want to fit in. Because as much as we're going to talk about the beauty standards according to society, that's a topic for another day. But now we're talking about insecurities, and this for me is a serious concern, because I think as women we need to stop this, because if we understand how unnecessary it is, I don't think we'll be wasting our time hating on other people who didn't even do anything to us. Now, there's an issue with insecurities. You are going to chase away your blessings. You are going to chase away people who were sent to help you. But because you're insecure, or let's say those people will come in a form of a beautiful woman who takes care of herself, who goes to the gym, blah, 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 beautiful skin. You are going to be insecure because you're thinking, I cannot work with this person. And the only thing you think about, oh, I don't have what she has. But you forget that it's not about that. It's not about having what other people have. That's the first sign of insecurity, when you start comparing yourself with other people. All right. So you're going to chase away people who are meant to come and help you. You're going to chase away your destiny helpers. Destiny helpers are people who are supposed to come into your life to take you to the next level or to the next step of your life. But because you don't see further, because you think in front of your feet, You are going to see things with the eyes of insecurity, with an eye of a low self-esteem. And that is a very dangerous place to be in, even for you, right? So we need to start understanding that these things are not working anymore. You cannot look at a person you don't know. You cannot look at a stranger and be like, oh, she can take my man. I remember this other time. I went to the shop and I parked next to that shop, right? It's a small shop, spaza shop. And as I was parking there, I was, powdering myself and doing all these things. A group of women, I think they were coming from work. A group of women came and saw me through the screen. And one of them made a comment that was like, oh, you see this one, she can take your man immediately. And other women started to, look frowny, and they were not okay. I was like, all of them don't know me, by the way. They don't even know me. I'm not their friend. I'm a stranger to them. But they were able to look at me and be like, this one can take your man. And others believed her because I saw the reaction, I saw the facial expressions, like, who does she think she is? But all of them do not know me, the ones who believe her and the ones who were making those statements about me. So I think that's the problem that we're dealing with as women, that you look at another woman and be like, this one can take my man. Where is this man? Like, where is she going to meet him? Sometimes you look at the man that you are accused of taking and you're like, yeah, no comment. But yeah, do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's not even that. So people think you go around trying to snatch their men, and yet they don't understand you also have preferences. And even if you were to meet those men, if you have a man, why would you? So it's those insecurities. They don't think further. They thinking this one is beautiful, so she can do this. Secondly, how you're going to chase your blessings is that you're going to assume the worst of beautiful people because maybe you know the history, or you've heard a lot of bad things about them, or there's been a lot that has been said about them. So when you see them, you're like, oh, this is going to happen to me, so I cannot associate with them. It's not about that. It's about why you're doing the things you're doing. If you're meeting at work, and I know workplaces are the perfect example of that. Women betray each other. Women go against each other. Women sabotage one another at work because of insecurities. Let me give you a perfect example. So let's say you get employed and you qualify for a higher position in that company, right? And there's a woman up there on top, and probably it's few of them, and there's many men who are holding those high positions, including these few women I'm talking about. So men, what they normally do is to employ these women and put them in positions of power so that they can open spaces for other women who qualify to go there. So what some of these women do, not all of them, but some of these women do, they would put men again in those positions. So men open the spaces for women to put each other in those positions, but women take those positions and give them back to men, not because other women don't qualify and not because those men don't qualify, but it's this thing of saying, but it's a few of us here. I don't know if it's a matter of getting attention or if it's a matter of relevance. They want to remain relevant, as if, their sense of relevance is going to be taken by another woman being there. So there's a lot at stake. There's a lot that's going on, especially in corporate spaces. So at the end of the day, women sabotage one another. And they destroy other women's lives. They sabotage other women's lives. And they don't even think about it that far. Because what they think about is, oh no, she's going to take attention. She's going to do this and that, and I'm not going to be relevant. Stop that. Stop that now. All right. So there's a lot of things. If a person can look at you like you're going to do something wrong to them, they don't even know you. Imagine if you were to work together. Imagine if you were to be put in the same place with that person. Okay. Now, insecurities are not completely a bad thing if you look at it this way. If you see a woman who's going to stir up those insecurities, that low self-esteem that you're dealing with or suffering from, they are trying to show you that there's something you have not worked on that is still within you. Maybe it's been hiding itself, whether it's issues of anger or insecurities or envy or jealous or whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, you might think you're okay, you've done the work, you're confident and all that. So if someone else appears and you start feeling like, who does she think she is? Then that means you still have issues that you have not worked on. So if you look at it in that light, then it might help you. Then you can say, oh, okay, then I need to start doing something about this instead of just ignoring it. And I think that's where the problem is, when we ignore these things, because they're showing us that, hey, I'm still here. You have not worked on me. So if we ignore them, then they're going to come back to haunt us, right? So they are there for a reason. They are showing us something for a reason so that we can start working on them immediately, not ignore them. Now, the danger of ignoring your insecurities and not working on them is that if you want to be a high-value woman, you will go to certain places. You would work hard, let's say in your career. You get a job, a nice one, and you get all these things, cars and blah, blah, blah. And you get to high positions, you get invited to higher places, to certain events and all that. You are going to sabotage yourself. These insecurities will always pop up because remember, you're always going to meet beautiful women. You're always going to meet people who have what you envy. You're always going to meet people who remind you of what you did not work on. Because if you run away from these insecurities, they're going to catch up with you later on in life. So you don't want to go all the way and climb the ladder and still deal with insecurities where you are. They will sabotage you. Because I don't care what you think you can do, how much money you think you have. If you have insecurities, they're going to sabotage you in life. So if you do not know how to work on insecurities, do research, do self-introspection. So there's something called inner work. Inner work is very good. Inner work is something, I'm not saying you're going to do the inner work and then after a week you're okay. It might take some time, but it's good for you, right? So you can call it personal development, self-work, shadow work, or whatever you want to call it, it's fine. But I use the inner work a lot, the word inner work, because it's something that you're prompted to deal with. It's an internal thing, it's not that influenced by external things. So yeah, do the inner work, do self-introspection. Figure out where you want to be in life, right? So do that. It's possible, it's doable, because you're going to sabotage yourself. These insecurities are not good. Believe me, they're not good for anybody. And I'm talking from a standpoint of being a woman, and I'm talking from experience. I didn't really suffer from insecurities for a very long time in life, but I've had experiences. I've had my fair share of insecurities in life. And it's not good. It's not a good place to be in. So for a woman, if you want to be a high value woman, start there. We're talking about insecurities today, so start there. Okay. So yeah, man, that's what I wanted to emphasize. Do the inner work. And I know we can talk about the inner work all day, but one of the reasons why I love the inner work is that you can never say, I'm done, so I'm coming out of it, because there's always going to be something new to learn. And if you do the inner work, it might not be easy, but it will be worth it. At the end of the day, you'll thank yourself. You'll thank God you did it, right? I feel like it's a gift from above. It's a gift from God. So just do the inner work and discover where you want to be in life. You're not going to thrive in life with insecurities. But if insecurities show up, they are teaching you something. They're here to show you something. So the biggest mistake you can ever do is to ignore them. So do not ignore them, because they are a lesson. They are there to teach you something. Okay, so this is not a judgmental platform. I'm not judging anybody on this platform. I'm just, saying let's work on these issues, because I am seeing a lot of people looking at each other like, yo, they're going to skin each other alive. Women looking at me, I'm like, yo, you don't even know me. Do you understand? So let's work on that. Back in the days, actually, I'll tell you a story. Hey, I've come a long way. So I used to, but that was like a decade ago. So when women look at me like that, I would even ask them, what do you think you're looking at? I would stop and ask them, as dangerous as that was, but I would stop and ask, what are you looking at? Do I look strange? Yeah, so I'll be cheeky about it. But now that I understand what people are dealing with, and I understand the kind of a person I am to a certain extent, because I'm still learning. I'm on a journey or a path of self-discovery. So I do get a lot of those, but I no longer react in such a manner, because I now know myself, right? I know myself better than I did back then. So yeah, it's a good space to be in when you discover one thing, just one little thing about yourself and your character. So if you're going to be a high value woman, start dealing with your insecurities. Start by dealing with your insecurities. They are not going to get you far in life. So you can have a good thing in front of you and you can ruin it because of your insecurities. Low self-esteem is a very dangerous thing, even for you. If you have a low self-esteem, you are a danger to yourself. Before you can be dangerous to anyone else, you are a danger to yourself if you have a low self-esteem. So I encourage women. The reason why I'm talking about women, or I'm talking to women, is that in August you'll see our sisters. They're busy hosting women empowerment events, but they themselves are not empowered. So can we empower each other now, so that by the time August comes, by the time we're hosting women empowerment events, we would have learned something about ourselves? Because remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give what you don't have, right? So at the end of the day, let's empower each other now. Let's deal with these issues now, so that if we're going to tell other women to work on them, we would have started doing something, or we would have started working on something ourselves. So we need to avoid a scenario where we're trying to empower everyone else, but we neglect our own characters. So let's start now. In May, let's start now empowering each other. Okay. So because in August, you will see things. People will start being busy. Women empowerment. During those women empowerment seminars, they are giving each other, one another, a dirty look or dirty eye. They don't even like each other. So can we stop that? Can we stop pretending to be okay with certain things? Can we work on them now? Because doing these things just so people can clap hands for us is not going to work for us. Can we start with ourselves? All right, me included. I'm not saying I'm excluding myself from these things. I'm saying, can we work on these things so that we can create a better future for the next generation of women? Because if you wonder why a teenage girl would feel insecure just because you appear from nowhere, and they're thinking, who is she? What does she think she is, or who does she think she is? And yet you're way older than her. That means she got that from a mother or from a mother figure. So can we start working on ourselves so that we can be able to tell teenagers and young girls to be confident and be comfortable in their own skin? Because we need to avoid a scenario where we have a generation of young people coming after us who are going to do things the way we do now and do them even worse and be worse off. So we need to actually be very careful. Insecurities are not going to work, guys. Like, I think those days are over where we flatter each other and say, oh, okay, it's fine. No, we cannot clap hands for each other when we are off ramping. Okay, so these insecurities are a hindrance. So let's think about that before we can say August. In August, we are hosting a women empowerment seminar or event, and yet we're not empowered ourselves. Can we empower ourselves now? Let's start there. Let's start from there. So there's another, I think I'll do a part 2 of this women empowerment thing, because we have a lot of people who want to be high value women, but they don't act like it, or maybe they're even given opportunities to work on these things, but they refuse to. And it's not easy, I understand, but it's doable, guys. We can do it together. All right, so yeah, please share your comments and tell us how else we can improve in terms of empowering other people, empowering each other as women. Thank you so much, guys. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, to like and share my videos. I would really appreciate it. All right, see you later on. Bye.